Linda with Salty Seattle, and we are going to jump right into making rainbow fusilli. So we've got golf ball sized chunks of dough here in all of our funky colors, and I'm just going to use my nice walnut rolling pin here to just start by rolling them a little bit flat before I put them through the pasta machine. And you can do all of this without a pasta machine. You can just use a rolling pin and you'll get really big muscles, but for the sake of your time and my muscles, we're going to use a pasta machine today. All of these fun colors do come from vegetables, herbs, and superfoods. Pasta dough is very forgiving, but one thing that you can do to build up strength in the dough is to do what's called laminate it, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm laminating it, and you can probably guess that laminating just means folding on itself. Okay, so we laminated, meaning we folded our dough onto itself, and we're gonna go back through the machine, and once more back through. And one important thing to note when you're putting pasta through the pasta machine is just to make sure that you are turning the hand crank on the side of your pasta machine so that the two wheels that are pressing the pasta flat together go thinner and thinner, because the goal is to sheet your pasta thin eventually. So you go from thick to thin. All right, now we have our colors sheeted out to about the middle thinness on the pasta machine. And if you remember, we're making that rainbow fusilli. So what I need to achieve now is to get some strips that I'm just gonna hand cut with my rolling cutter here. And we're gonna make nice and thick strips because we want our fusilli to have some great color blocking. And you'll see what I mean when we start layering these strips together. So I'm adhering those pasta strips together with a little bit of water. And sometimes your pasta doesn't necessarily need water. It'll be tacky enough to hold the next color. But the good thing about water is if you just use a little bit of it, it does help it hold together, and then the water evaporates, and so it's not like egg that sometimes people use to bind things together where it does leave a residue. Since it's water, it evaporates, it goes away. We're gonna go through that rainbow one more time. Exact same thing here. So now that we have all of our strips laid, we're just gonna kind of clean the edges up because we have to run this back through the pasta machine and we want it to have some uniformity. And I'm gonna make sure to put my wheeled setting here on a wider setting so that I can get that thickness to go through without tearing it. Do that one more time. We're gonna run it through the other way just to not only give us that width, but also give us a little bit of length on our fusilli. And this is kind of something that I like to eyeball, where I don't like it to be so long that, that the colors really spread out. And so just kind of looking for a nice even mix of color. And then if your dough feels a little bit sticky, you can always just smatter a little bit of flour on there in a nice light even layer, and then brush it over the top of the dough. And we're gonna go one more time. Okay, so we have our really cool rainbow sheets made now, and I'm gonna teach you how to transform them into fusilli. I'm gonna use this handy dandy little cutter called a pasta bike, and we're just gonna use it to create strips. So I just go straight across the dough. I'm gonna do the same thing, just nice and straight across. And here is where the knitting needle comes in. So this particular shape of pasta is sort of a take on fusilli, and all you do is wrap that pasta around the knitting needle just like that. One thing that people often ask with this shape is, does it hold when it's cooked? And yeah, so as long as you dry the fusilli on the surface for an hour or two, it will hold the shape when it boils. And it is that easy, rainbow fusilli. And that comes together in just a few minutes. If you're making them at home, you can make a 4-person serving in a half an hour, and what a fantastic dinner that is. To get inspired by more colorful pasta creations, please don't forget to join me, Salty Seattle, on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram.